We have a strong connection with chimpanzees. We share their DNA. We have similar emotions. Yet for decades, we allowed them to be abused. Well, this is a show about some people in Georgia who are changing that. The misty Blue Ridge Mountains hold many secrets. From tales of monsters to the legend of Hell's Hollow. So, imagine walking through the woods and hearing this. Well, there's no mystery here. It is just a sound commonly heard at Project Chimps, a sanctuary developed for retired research animals.
The moment that they get off the truck, it's a lot of anxiety. We can't explain to them in language that tries to comfort them on what this weird long journey with all these strangers and new smells and new visuals is. So they don't know if it's just a delivery to another lab. Am I about to go be used for another experiment? Because it kind of is. We know it's a positive experiment. They don't know that. It's a lot of trepidation, a lot of nervous energy that comes off in those first couple days. They're meeting all these strangers. We're showing them all sorts of yummy treats and fun-looking toys, but there's a lot of poking and you know, they're not sure what it is, what to do with it. And then the first time that one of them figures it out, or they bite into the tomato for the first time, everyone runs over. It's like, are you okay? You seem happy about this. It wasn't scary, it wasn't painful. I want to try it too. And then they slowly come to realize that everything that we're offering to them is something that is either benign or super exciting. And nothing is really causing them a negative reaction.
This land near Blue Ridge, Georgia, will eventually house almost 200 chimps from a lab in Louisiana. On this cold day in January, the door to their enclosure will open for the first time. They've never run through a forest, so those gathered for a rare sight were warned. The chimps may be too scared to go outside. But watch this. We thought our GoPro camera was hidden, but chimps are too smart for that. Just a little tap to say, yeah, whatever, I know it's there.
So as you just saw, most of the females decided to venture out for at least a little bit. They did unfortunately experience the fence, but that's part of the learning process. They do need to understand where the boundaries are to this new world of theirs. But Latricia, the dominant female, went back out. She encouraged the others to come back out. She brought food back in to show them that the food was out there.
By the time we made another visit, all the chimps had become used to going outside, and they're starting to act like chimpanzees.
Politically correct, who is expressing, who is just overriding. So you get all kinds of personalities.
I am with Mike Serras watching two males. You are about to see what's called a bluff display against me.
Females usually don't. Yes, they do the display. They shake on. They use all kind of aids.
Lance is
Lance
coming back.
spotted us. He's coming. All right.
Come
he's
on,
coming
Lance.
and looking back if anybody follows him. He is insecure in many ways, so he does actually more bluff
Hey, Lance.
display. Here he is, bipedal sway.
Hey, Lance.
With a pilar action, then he changes his mind. But
No?
definitely curiosity is here. He starts hooting now. We'll see if he actually directing it to the chimps, but he keep looking at us, also glancing and glancing at you. He might jump on a window.
Okay.
And
And here
there's
comes,
no
who's
trouble.
coming up?
Here's Jason coming.
Oh, Jason is
Yeah,
the,
Jason is
he's the
center of it. He's the poop thrower, yes, but he also, you see, they always pick up a piece of stick and throw it.
Hey.
And then he stays because now his insecurity gone. That's why he does
Hello.
the display. And then curiosity
Jason.
kicks in.
Jason's name.
Yeah, Jason.
Look at that. I'm glad there was some glass there.
Yeah.
You know, Mike?
But this
That's
is
funny. The bluff attack was directed at me because he knows Mike, but I'm new. The message is something like, I don't know who you are, but you'd better not mess with me. If I was a chimp, do they ever act it out on it?
They would probably do the same thing, or they do that sometimes, especially Jason. He's a high maintenance guy who is hyper many times, so he does display regardless. And then, as I said, he's one of the typical male chimpanzees who shoot first and ask questions later.
Wow. How long has he been with you?
He's been here since over a year now, and he's pretty much got used to it all. This whole group came together.
So he's swaying now.
Yes, he's swaying, and you can see his lips are forming. We call it a duck face. That is maybe no sound at the moment, but he will go. The next phase is giving sound to it. He's still looking around who is watching him, if anyone. Then now you hear the hooting, and both of them going. Great. Yes.
But then they run. The big boys
And they
then
go-
run away.
Yes, you know, this is...
What a wonderful moment. Who gets to...
Attacking somebody is a very risky thing. So if a chimpanzee
So they're
male
kinda
does
scared of me
basically-
too.
Yes, because they don't know how you respond. It's very risky.
So
you
if I
think
had
about
pounded
it,
back on the window...
Yes, it has to be potent and fast, and then they have to jump back because to wait how you respond. If you're
Wow.
going to attack me, I have to be prepared.
We've slowed this down so you can see the power and speed these animals possess.
To enter a cage with a group of chimpanzees is not a big deal. They will let you in. You open the cage door and go in. But to come out, that's a different story. Just like in the
Really?
bar, right? You enter, they all get surprised. Oh my gosh, he's coming in. What's going on? Do you agree with this? And they keep looking at each other until one will say, no, I don't think that's the right thing to do. Let's ask him or her. And then they start, you know, backing up each other, form an
Wow.
alliance, a coalition, and then they collectively going to attack you. So to get out, that's a different story. To get in is always easy, but of course we don't do that.
Chimpanzees have a very complex social order, not all that different from ours. Emory professor and primatologist Frans de Waal has studied chimp behavior for decades and is well known for his book, Chimpanzee Politics.
Because I think Washington politics and chimpanzee politics, they're all based on coalitions and who supports whom under what kind of circumstances and how can you divide people. And all these games are played by chimpanzees as well. They have their allies, which are allies as long as they're useful, but then at some point they become not so useful anymore and they move to another. So they're not very faithful necessarily. They really are political strategists.
That's why there are very strict regulations at the sanctuary. What you may think is the dominant male could have lost his power, and a lesser-ranked male may be in charge. As Frans says, chimps are not very faithful. So one of the most important rules here at the sanctuary is that caretakers never enter an enclosure until the chimps are moved to a different section and behind bars. You do not want to be alone with a chimpanzee. You may think that chimp is your friend, but they are unpredictable. Also, as you've seen, they are extremely fast and their strength is incredible. Chimpanzee bodies are covered with rough, dark hair, except for the face, ears, and palms of both their hands and feet. Arms and flexible legs extend from their torso, the arms longer than the legs. They walk on the soles of their feet and the knuckles of their hands. Their muscles are attached further from the point of joint rotation, giving them more leverage. They also have twice the amount of fast-twitch muscle fibers as humans, which is what gives them the capability to make those powerful bursts of movement. All that said, chimps are genetically closer to humans than any other animal, sharing 98% of our DNA. We, too, are primates.
We are apes. We are large, tailless primates. So that makes us apes. And I know many disciplines like anthropology and psychology, they worry about what the difference is between an ape and a human, but the differences are really small. The big difference for me would be language. That's the one thing that I think we humans have that really sets us apart. Even though, of course, chimpanzees have communication. They're very good at communicating with each other, but they don't have language, a symbolic language like we have. So that's where the difference would be.
If you've ever had a cat or a dog in your life, even a horse or a rabbit, you have those moments of eye connection, right? And you feel like you can understand what they're probably feeling. You can feel the empathy for them. With the chimpanzee, it's almost immediate. Their facial features and the way that their eyes connect into yours, you don't have to spend time with them. I mean, you want to, but you don't have to before you just instantly have that note that they can evaluate if you are someone they should fear or if they are someone they can trust, and they respond to you immediately.
So he's always one that will come up to the windows.
I experienced that when I met Amy and Noelle after joining their caretaker, Crystal Alba. So I'm wearing the mask because I've not had a TB shot, and they're more worried about me possibly transmitting TB to the chimpanzees, not the chimpanzees. So this is just to protect the chimps. Well, who's this?
This is Noelle.
Hi, Noelle.
She's just displaying a little bit because she sees people she doesn't know.
Hello.
She's actually a very friendly chimp, but she's just gonna do a little bit of a display.
Okay. It didn't take long to find that connection. I bobbed my head and panted, both behaviors that let chimps know you mean no harm. Amy stayed by my side. But Amy over here, I think I have a friend.
Yeah, she's totally relaxed. At least for right now, she's just
Hey, baby.
checking things out.
Hey, baby. It's so tempting to reach up and grab them, and I know that's a big no-no.
It is, yeah. Even the caregivers don't have any contact.
Because they can rip you apart.
And they're extremely fast.
And strong.
Fast and strong. That's something
So
people
those
are
little
always surprised.
fingers could take my little finger and break it.
And Amy is the smallest of this group, and she could still easily do a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to hold hands with you, Grant, you know? This goes back to what Allie said. There is an instant connection. Either I trust you or fear you. Noelle finally decides I'm okay.
Hi, Noelle.
Hello, Noelle.
You gonna come say hi? She's offering her belly now, so she's settling down.
Hey. Hey, Noelle. You want to smell? Want to smell? Oh, that's very impressive. And Amy's just my friend here. She's just staring at
She
me.
is, yeah. I think she likes your hat.
You may be. Have you ever seen a hat before? Hmm?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I see you.
What a wonderful experience. Two female chimps who, within minutes of being here, give me their trust.
Yep, she's making friends now.
Yeah, when the bobbing of her head matches the bobbing of mine.
Yep.
You see the camera? Hmm?
So now she's just kind of playing with you.
And now a third.
Oh, here's Sarah.
Well, hi, Sarah.
She
We
has
haven't gotten to meet you.
Yeah, she's...
Did you get brave?
She's gonna say hi.
Hi. Hello. Hello.
She's giving you her belly.
I can't touch it though, right?
No.
See, I'll hold out my hand. That's as much as I can do. Sarah. Do they know their names?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sarah. Have you had your lunch? Huh? Look at that. So sticking the belly out means submissive or...
No, it just means that she thinks that you're friendly and she's willing to let you scratch her belly or groom her belly.
I would love to, but...
And something you can do when you can't have physical contact is you can kind of pant. Like if they offer their belly, you can just kind of get down and pant at their belly just to acknowledge.
Sarah. Sarah. It's interesting just to see their feet that close.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And she's just kind of playing with you.
Mm-hmm. So why are they here? Why the need for a sanctuary? People in the field of animal rights, scientists and lawmakers became increasingly troubled by invasive research on chimps like these. In the past, labs injected them with every disease imaginable and did things like place electrodes in their brains. They have been subjected to ghastly experiments over the decades. Then in 2015, U.S. Fish and Wildlife announced a rule that classifies all chimpanzees, both wild and captive, as endangered, leading research labs to begin sending them to sanctuaries like Project Chimps. Now those sanctuaries are trying to keep up with the demand.
So with these chimpanzees, they are eating anywhere from 5 to 6 pounds of fresh produce every single day. And, you know, your range of exotic and domestic versions of fruit and vegetables, as well as browse. So things like bamboo, willow, even roses we can harvest and give that to them to consume. But there's 40 chimpanzees, another 170 still to come, 5 pounds each every single day, 365 days a year. It's mind-blowing how much food needs to be prepared every day for these chimpanzees.
The sanctuary has 236 acres, and eventually there will be more housing, an additional habitat fenced in and open for them to explore. But it is a daunting responsibility. Chimpanzees in captivity usually live to about 50 or 55 years old. The ones here currently are between the ages of 7 and 28. It will take a lot of money to keep this going. What's your plan going forward? Just can wait for the money and build the
Yeah, I mean, there'll be a habitat over there. This will be 50 chimpanzees. This will be a habitat here with another 50 chimpanzees.
Oh, wow. So you've already got it mapped out.
Oh, yeah. The whole thing. So as soon as we get that lead gift, which is $2 million. But as soon as we get
$2 million, you will get it. You're gonna
as soon as we get that.
Project Chimps has support worldwide. You can see why so many people connect with chimpanzees. Mike is the one who puts chimps together based on their personalities. This is a sweet first-time encounter between a male chimp and a female. He's never been able to hug a girl.
He is hugging her to get reassurance from her, and you can see both of them embracing and very emotionally expressing their get-together situation. And then the male particularly, so as if I describe it anthropomorphically, because that's the way we understand it, he needs to tell the female that he has absolute zero intention to hurt her. Just please help me to overcome my insecurity, and he is trying every direction to express that, physically and emotionally. He's panting, he is screaming,
he's putting his
he is
fingers in her
sticking
mouth.
his fingers in the mouth.
A complete show of trust, because she could bite those fingers off. He smells her foot. He puts her foot in his mouth. Instinct takes over. But it is the hug that is so touching, perhaps because it is so similar to the way human lovers would embrace.
You can see both of them panting. His tummy is moving, her tummy is moving, while they're really emotionally embracing each other.
Oh, look at that. That's...
Yes, in every direction, as you can imagine, almost like bonobo-like, you know.
Yeah.
Which it's basically reassuring her that he doesn't want to hurt her and expecting the same back. So she reaches back, holding his leg, as well as, again,
Putting his foot in her mouth.
In the mouth.
This is what sanctuary life brings to these animals that in the past have only known a laboratory cage.
What we're trying to do at Project Chimps is create a model of captivity that replicates as much as possible the societal structure the wild population of chimpanzees could have experienced. But for as much as we can, and keeping them safe, we give them freedom of choice. And freedom of choice ultimately is, what do you want to eat today? Here's 10 options. It's, where do you want to spend your day? Do you want to go outside and lounge in a tree? Do you want to stay inside in the air conditioning? Because we know you grew up with air conditioning, so it's still going to be something that we offer you. Do you want to go have a play date with a neighboring chimpanzee? We can introduce the two of you because we've seen that you have sparked an interest that looks like you could be friends. But within the safety of the sanctuary, how many more choices can I give you? That's what I want. That's what we strive for, is building the opportunity to decide how to spend your day.
I think they're much smarter than people think, in the sense that, for example, they can think ahead. We know that from many experiments now, but in the wild, for example, chimpanzees may collect tools that they're going to use a couple of hours later. So they may collect grass stems that they put all in their mouths, long grass stems, and then they walk a couple of miles, and then they go to a place where there are termite mounds, and they start fishing with the grass stems, meaning that they must have made the plans for doing this long ago. And so there's all sorts of experiments now that people do where they show them tools that they can only use the next day or something like that, that make it clear that chimpanzees plan ahead. And so that whole idea that we have is that animals live in the present and we are the only ones who think about the future, that doesn't really work for chimps. And chimpanzees also, they're not just tool users, they're tool makers. We know many experiments on that. So they can make tools, they recognize themselves in the mirror, that's another thing that they do, which your dog doesn't do, and so on. So yeah, there's many levels at which they're more intelligent than most animals.
That is why they're here. We know they are intelligent, and despite what has been done to chimpanzees in the past, society today demands they be treated with kindness and respect. Georgians have stepped up and embraced the sanctuary. Many volunteers in the Blue Ridge community gather here each day to prepare food and make what is called enrichments, treats designed to encourage foraging. Dawn DiLorenzo is a regular.
Ron and I are making enrichment. This is what we do twice. They have 2 enrichments every day, the chimpanzees, and it is just to keep them busy, occupied. In the wild, they forage for their food, so they spend about 80% of their time foraging. So we like to give them an enrichment twice a day to keep them busy, keep them active and happy, keeps them content as well. This is great fun. It makes my heart sing every time I know that I'm making something to make one of our chimpanzees happy. It's just so wonderful to watch them, you know, munch every little bit. There won't be a speck of peanut butter on this pine cone when it's done. And they also will nibble some on the cone. They like to chew it. They like to put things in their mouth, and then what they call wodge it, as if they're chewing gum. So they like to do that with barks and bark from the tree or the pine cone. They'll do that with it.
They are even fed in a manner that makes them reach for lettuce and broccoli so that it seems a bit more like finding something in the wild. Meanwhile, other research chimps are waiting to come here. But more villas must be built first, and that takes money. Those who work with these chimps try not to be impatient. It will take a while. But there is tremendous passion and commitment. No doubt, the chimps will come. Each time a new villa is built, 10 more chimps can be brought in from Louisiana. So the next time you see a Project Chimps trailer come rolling down the highway, you will now know there are animals inside about to get their first taste of freedom. I'm Sharon Collins. We'll see you next time.